Welcome to Reality Hour. I'm Adam Samuel. Today we are talking about America's Got Talent, the first week of live shows. Although it wasn't all live, but we'll be going into it all today. Joining me here for this podcast is my co-host Eric. How you doing today, Eric?
I am doing well. I'm hoping that everyone enjoyed my new theme song that I just played in the edited version of this podcast, which is not my theme song at all. I mashed up X Factor, AGT, and Idol, and like 3 seconds of each. I figured it would be a cool thing to do, and I came up with that idea, and I had the time that I was bored. And I was like, I have to do it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm good. This show kind of sucked. I mean, the results kind of sucked, and the show itself kind of sucked. But, what are you going to do?
So we're actually here on Reality Hour in a bit of a strange situation because I have watched the full performance episode. I actually do not know the results because I didn't get a chance to watch it. So we decided that instead of me kind of looking through it and just figuring it out, Eric was going to kind of, how are we going to handle this? What are we going to do?
I think we'll make it fun. So we're going to go after we talk about each act, we're going to make you guess. Did they make it through or did they not? And then I get to break the news. All
right. Fair enough. All right. So we had 12 performers. How many people made it through?
5.
All right. So wait, how's this going to go? So we're going, how many contestants? We're going from how many to what? Like what number are we at now?
40. I mean, there are 44 in the live shows, I think. So it's 11 each night. And we're going down to a top 20.
And then what?
Beats me.
Don't say we're going to like a top 2.
Of course not. We're going to go from a top 20 to a top 10 and then the finale.
Why can't we have like 5 act finale and then they perform twice like in that first season?
Yeah, that would have been great. But Yep. Sucks. Let's just go into it, shall we?
All right. So before we kind of get into the actual deep dive, let's talk some headlines, which I think I will admit.
Kelly, right?
What?
The big one is Kelly Clarkson, right?
Well, I was going to say I've been a little bit more unplugged than I usually am from kind of the goings on of America's Got Talent. But the one thing I was made very well aware of, that was a tongue twister, was some news about Simon Cowell. So Eric, I'm going to throw this over to you. What was kind of going on with Simon here?
He fell off an electric bike and broke his back and nearly paralyzed himself. But he's recovering. He'll be back soon, possibly. Who knows? But in the meantime, we got Kelly Clarkson as a replacement for now. So.
All right. Well, Kelly Clarkson making her America's Got Talent debut. How did she do, Eric?
And I say that as someone who loves Kelly. I've met her. I've seen her live so many times. She was the first person I've ever seen in concert. She is awesome. This was a bit underwhelming.
Yeah. I gotta admit, like this is just a little bit of a thing for me, but I've soured a bit on Kelly Clarkson.
I know because she joined The Voice, not Idol. Blah blah blah.
She's a traitor.
No, she's not. No, she made the smart decision for herself financially. They gave her a freaking talk show for F's sake.
It's called loyalty, Eric. It's loyal to the show that made you.
Loyalty at the cost of screwing yourself out of business decisions. I'm against that. Anyway.
All right, wait. Here's my. All right. What did the people say? It's like I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Like that's my thoughts. Kelly Clarkson. Is that how it is? Or
that would have been a good reaction 3 years ago. It's been 3 years. Get over it.
Oh God. So look, are there any kind of big headlines here that you really want to kind of touch on before we get into the deep dive?
Not really. I mean, we don't know who's judging next week. It could be Simon, could be Kelly, could be someone else. We don't know yet. But yeah, we'll see.
I will say I'm on the Reddit thread, America's Got Talent Reddit, which I do visit from time to time, and I am seeing one post that I think deserves a little bit of our attention here for a moment, Eric. Someone has created, it's me _Y2J has created a thread saying that we should create, not we as like we in general, someone, or you know what it actually just says, someone should make a petition for Heidi to just buy some binoculars because I really think she should stop pretending she has one. And I didn't notice that until now, but we need to break this down, Eric. Who do we have to call to get Heidi Klum a binocular? Because I will admit, I am willing to pay for her binoculars pair. It's not going to be like one of those high-end like celebrity pair that celebrities like that a celebrity uses. It'll probably be like a dollar store kind, but you know, the stage isn't that big. She should.
That's okay. That's my second favorite Reddit thread I've read in the past month. My second favorite.
I love it. I think we should actually. You know what? I'm gonna create a GoFundMe.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Anyway,
change.org. Someone buy Heidi Klum some binoculars. What is going on here, Eric? What's happening?
I don't know. It's just something that Heidi does. Anyway, that was great, and I appreciate you bringing that up to me because now I'm going to look at that thread. But I do want to move on to the deep dive.
Yeah. So we had 11 acts perform. Only some of them actually performed on the stage, which actually one more thing to kind of talk about, which is the structuring of the America's Got Talent kind of ways the acts performed during COVID. We had some perform on the stage, some perform in kind of different venues. And what did you kind of think of this way it was going?
I mean, it's been like this in the past, just to a lesser extent. Like some of the Danger acts would perform outside in the past, and certain other acts that wouldn't work on the stage have performed outside in the past. But some acts that didn't need to necessarily perform outside performed outside this time. So it was interesting. I'm not sure I liked it or disliked it. I just thought it was what it was. I was more annoyed by the fake audience noises they seem to be pumping in. That was what bugged me.
Before we went live, I sent Eric a clip from one of my personal favorite shows, Black Mirror, which is essentially more of a modern take on like a Twilight Zone kind of show. And there's one episode that spoofs American Idol and sort of the reality talent show like sphere. And if you enjoy kind of that dark kind of shows, I highly recommend you check out this episode. It's called 50 Million Merits, I think is what the episode is called. So in this episode, basically people go on the show. I think it's called like Hot Shots or something, and they perform. And instead you have the judges, and the judges on this Black Mirror show, they're essentially a different like copied version of the American Idol, the original panel of Simon and everyone else. I'm blanking on names.
Simon, Paula, and yeah.
It's been a long day, Eric.
And Randy, and you shall not be named.
Yeah, and behind the judges, instead of an audience, they would just have like a wall of essentially people that look like me's, like from Nintendo, and they would be watching the acts. This felt so much like that. It was bizarrely reminiscent of it. Just everything just felt very strange. What did you think?
I feel like it would have been better if they didn't have an audience at all. I hate this virtual audience thing. I really do.
Because I watched Archie's performance of these 11, and there was no, like they probably just muted the audience, and it was so good. Like, look, the performance itself we will talk about, but just the fact that it was so.
You could just hear him.
There wasn't the annoying every few seconds. Like it was very easy to actually watch, and it was so enjoyable. And I wish the show could have just
did that for everything. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but of the acts that actually weren't on stage and they had a different venue, I actually really thought it was cool and well done to see the different places they were performing.
This was by far the most well-produced show post-COVID so far. And not even close. And it's because they had time. They had time to figure things out. And they got the benefit of watching what Idol and The Voice did. And they've learned from it, and things have opened up more, so they could do things like Idol and The Voice couldn't do. And yeah, it was a lot better. I mean, well, my favorite act of the episode, we'll get to it, but yeah, their stages were really cool. Some of it was like really well produced. Yeah.
I really like the stages that really stood out to me was Fang's stage. Yeah. Like, say what you will, the performance, forget the performance, just the stage. Simon and Maria's was really cool. Let's see, who else? There was one other one. The two girls, the Double Dragon. It was like, it's just cool things to watch, but I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed that like more than some of the performances themselves. Like the setups were just amazing. But anyway, let's talk about the actual performances. So we kick off the show with Pork Chop Review. It is a Eric, help me out here. What is this?
Heidi took the best pun. We can't beat it. So it was boring. A boar is a type of pig.
Yeah, I got it.
It was terrible. This was probably the worst opening to an AGT live show that I've ever seen. And I mean, of all the live shows, I mean, like of the season, first live show of the season, this is the worst way to kick it off I've ever seen. 3 times the pigs did not do the tricks that they were supposed to be doing. And I would have buzzed this act. And here's where I get to my problems with Kelly. Because Kelly had the audacity to say, I actually loved that all the pigs didn't do what they were supposed to. That's an actual quote that Kelly Clarkson said to this act. And this, to me, is what I call the voicification of reality TV, which is that all these judges now aren't capable of just being honest with people. They have to sugarcoat their critiques. I loved that the act didn't go right and that things went wrong and that the pigs weren't talented and didn't do the right things. I loved that. Come on, just if you're gonna twist the knife, just be blunt about it. Don't sugarcoat it.
All right, so I think that this is just an extension of the similar dog acts, the cat acts.
Of course, yes.
But the thing is, it's a downgrade from it, like
a significant downgrade.
And the thing is, dog acts, like animal acts themselves, whether it be pigs, dogs, birds, cats, there's a ceiling to them. Like they can't go a certain level. And America's Got Talent always promotes like bigger and better. And this is an act that can't do that. It's the show is trying to make something be bigger than it actually is. There's nothing to go with here. You know, if I'm like at a fair and I can watch like I might enjoy it, but it's not a headlining act. It's really just filler.
Correct. I will say the shocking thing to me was that Howie was honest about this act, which I was stunned. And like the fact that I said that Howie was honest, just kill me now. we're in the bad place.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I spent a big portion of the time talking about that, looking up pig puns. Couldn't actually find any good ones though. Surprisingly,
already used for one.
Yeah, there was surprisingly not that many good pig puns.
Sorry.
I missed the cat. Grace. We need the cats back.
No, we don't. Let's move on to Fangy.
I got so many cat puns.
I'm sure you do.
Fang E is a ukulele master. He, I believe, has the best stage setup of all the acts. This dude was like on like a huge. Everything about this just looked really cool to watch and just pretty epic.
I'll just put it out there. This was my favorite act of the episode. And not by a little bit, by quite a lot. This kid is good. I mean, I didn't even know it was ukulele at first. I thought it was like a rock guitar. And then when the judges were talking about how it was legal, I'm like, what? And then I immediately voted for him. And of course,
we didn't even talk about the
results.
I'm going to guess Pork Chop didn't make it.
Correct.
Okay. Thang didn't make it?
He did not make it.
I would have put him through.
Bullshit.
I don't know. For me, I never really got into Fang's act. Like,
I really got into this. I thought this was fantastic.
The audition, I didn't really remember that much. I'll be honest.
I don't think it aired.
What?
I don't think they aired his audition.
I feel like it didn't.
I don't remember it.
I don't know, but I also remember him on Ellen, and I was just kind of unimpressed a little bit, if that's too harsh to say. But this performance,
he's 11.
You know what? This is what
he
America's
was good.
Got
He was
Talent.
better than lots of the people who were in their 30s.
This is what the show kind of is. You kind of have to judge these people. I don't like judging. Like, there's certain people I feel I don't like judging them, but this is America's Got Talent, and this is kind of.
Yeah, I know, but it's excruciating. I thought he deserved to go through easily, and the fact that he came in 4th, 5th, or 6th and did not get the judge's save. What? Okay. Anyway,
I'll be honest. I wasn't the one part I thought that was really cool was the Seven Nation Army part that was really.
I thought the whole thing was cool.
I mean, it was cool visually, like it was a
not just visually. He was really good. I really enjoyed it. And Grace correctly points out that the only point Kelly got was being the only judge to put Fang through. Correct.
In the chat, I'm hearing some mention of a curse. What's going on? I haven't heard this. Is there a curse?
I mean, I don't know what the curse is, but Yep.
All right. Well, let me know in the chat. Were you a fan of Fang? Do you agree with me, or do you agree with Eric and kind of were more really buying what he was selling?
I mean, well, everyone I know Grace agrees with me.
Grace always agrees with you. That's not fair. That doesn't count. She always. That's an automatic vote in Eric's favor.
No, she doesn't. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's move on to the next act, shall we? Shakira Mcgrath.
Shakira Mcgrath, who was
AKA the only person who's not a plant.
One of my favorite acts going into this this round. One of the names that I really strongly remember. She is kind of a country singer performing What Hurts the Most. And from the start of her performance, I was like, uh-oh. Like I got the uh-ohs. It reminded me of the GIF that I sometimes post of Eric Cartman getting thrown under a bus.
Yes, it was very much a busing. Kelly was the one who did the busing, though, actually, which shocked me. Kelly was very nice about it, but basically said like you'll watch that back and there'll be moments where you're like, ugh, I wish I hit that. And I'm like, yeah, there were definitely issues with this performance. And I'll be honest, I voted for her before I watched her performance. After watching it, I would not have voted for her. Do you think she made it?
I would vote for her just by default.
You think she made it?
I feel like she was on the bubble and maybe. I think she was on the bubble and probably made it through on the judge's vote.
Nope. She was in the top 3.
I liked her. Like I
liked it, but there were definite issues with it.
She was really
not in the top 3 for me. It was in the top 5 for me, but not in the top 3.
I mean, here's the thing. What I thought was that the song was just too loud. Like listening to the first opening bars, I was like, she's singing and I can't. The mix of the audio is off, where the music is so much louder that when she's singing, I'm like, I can't really hear you that well.
Yeah. That's the part with busing. The part with not busing is she missed some notes, and she clearly missed some notes.
You know what? I blame the sound mixer. I think she gets a pass here.
You can't. Okay, whatever. Anyway, let's move on.
Simon and Maria, they are kid ballroom dancers, and they perform. This was Mel's Diner from Happy Days. What's going on here?
It's clearly an attraction or a set on the Universal lot.
It was pretty cool. Like,
yeah. It's cool that they use the space that they're in. Yeah,
they won, like, in my opinion, like the second best set. Like, I just thought it was, like, say what you will about the act, like the venue, like, just it was really cool. Like, it made me like enjoy the act just a little bit more so, just as a result of that. Then here's the thing for me with dance acts, in my opinion, this is just my personal take. About 80% of the act is the song choice for me. Like if it's like kind of a song that I can really get into, like I can get invested. Otherwise, I might kind of tune out just because I'm not so much into it. Do you know what I mean a little bit, Eric?
Yeah, sort of.
So like I was really jiving with this song. Like I thought it was really cool. It was fun to listen to. And it just it got me into it. I don't think they made it through personally. I don't think this is, or maybe they were on the bubble. The bubble, I think at best, but I don't think they made it.
Correct. They did not make it, and they
were they on the bubble?
No, they were not. They were in the immediate cut section.
Mm-hmm. You know, I get it. Like I get it, but it was still fun. Like I thought it was.
I mean, they were fodder, but let's move on.
All right, we move on to Frenchie Baby. He is a contortionist, and I don't like this.
Never do I, and I didn't watch it. He seems like a nice person. I can't watch React, and since he got cut, spoiler alert, I must not have been alone on that.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching this. I watched like the first 30 seconds. I was like, no.
Okay.
All right. Well,
let's move on. We didn't watch him. He didn't make it. Seems like a nice person, but it's not the type of act that Adam and I can stomach, technically.
You know, I can sometimes stomach it. Like with Noah, like I can think it's a little bit more manageable. But anyway, we move on to Bello and Annalise Knock, which
is not Bello and Annalise Knock. It was Annalise Knock. But for some reason, Bello still got credit.
Eric, this has to be the fourth time I've seen this act on America's Got Talent. The exact same act.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. No, it's probably 3 times. Once on the Bello, once on AGT Champions.
Twice on BGT Champions.
Oh, no. Actually, they probably did 4 times. Does someone like forget that this has been done already? I'm telling you, Eric, I've said this before. I think at the end of every AGT season, the judges and everyone on production has
all get memory wiped.
Yeah. And they just go in like they've never. And the weirdest thing is,
I've never seen a contortionist before. I've never seen this wheelboard. I've never seen the 4 boxes hanging above before.
It would explain everything. Like,
actually,
if you go into a season with that mindset, it just all makes so much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, this was just, I've seen it for, and the weird thing is no one else is like calling them out on it. Like I'm like one of the few, like no one else is saying this has been done.
It's been done so many times before, and it's done better before because it's better when Bello is also doing it. Yeah.
I saw this act 4 acts. I loved it the first time. Second time I was like, I think it was on the Champions, and then I was like, and I gotta say, like I said, going back to the thing of the music, most of my enjoyment came from the fact that they did it to Roundtable Rival by Lindsey Sterling, which was goddamn epic. But this was just. We've seen
it too many times. Yeah, we're not impressed by it anymore.
All right, but I'm gonna say they were on the bubble.
Nope.
Wow, really?
Just pure cut.
Wow. You know what? I would be sad, Eric, but we're probably going to see them again next year.
Oh, we totally are, and it'll be a giant wheel again, and
the judges are going to say, "I have never seen something like this before."
Yes, they are.
Oh God, Eric. Roberta Bagala. Next up, she is performing. You Say, Lauren Daigle. What do you make of this one? What?
You first on this one.
Pass.
What?
You go first.
Fine. She was good, but I'm disappointed. I thought she'd be better than this, and I blame song choice. I hate this song, and I'm just annoyed that she picked it, or that they picked it for her, whichever way it works. I don't know. I thought she had a chance of winning the entire show. I'm not so sure she does anymore.
Yeah, you were pretty high up on this act, and now, right? This was the act you were kind of.
It's one of them. It was in my top 5. But yeah, this was good, but it wasn't mind-boggling, and it needed to be mind-boggling. So
yeah, I wasn't kind of blown away. She kind of fell into the same category of just that archetype we get once a year. Like, I feel like maybe there was something special the previous time, and now she was kind of demoted into that, like, just cliched archetype that we've seen so many times before, and we've kind of seen how this plays out. But I'm going to say she probably made it through, right?
Of course, she was in the top 3. So
Azad in the chat says, "Is Lindsey Sterling your favorite act of all time?"
Let's Kenichi. Let's move on.
How do you know?
Because you said it many times before, Adam. And it's obvious.
I've rewatched some of his performances, and they hold up and are goddamn amazing. They are still just, oh my, like that. Michael Yo is a comedian. Eric,
who is less funny than the magician.
Before we can talk about that, I feel like comedians have just been on a downward spiral for some reason in recent seasons.
No. Last season being the clear exception.
In your opinion, I mean, but like...
And in America's opinion, he came in 3rd.
Ryan came in 3rd?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I really don't remember that. 3rd overall?
I remember that. 3rd over The Unbeatable, which came in 4th.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So take back what you said, and let's move on.
So Michael, actually, going into this episode, Michael was someone I was thinking was going to probably be getting like a fast pass into the next round. I thought he just just had to be competent, because I imagined that the show was going to blow up his story of what kind of happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, this is one act I will say I did know the spoiler. I heard about this. He did not make it through. Can you kind of explain what happened?
It just wasn't funny. And he's a comedian, so it's kind of a problem.
I felt like he was telling a story about like the birth of his son, and he almost was sounding like super emotional, like really into it, which could work if you're doing like a really long set. Like if I'm the furthest thing from a comedian, but if I'm doing a 1 hour set, I would maybe have that be like one little moment, like kind of in the bracket. I would not have that be my highlighted moment. You know, I felt like America's Got Talent comedians already have the short end of the stick. They have 90 seconds to do their act. You can't do that. You got to go for the hardest laughs. And I felt like he did something that would have maybe worked in a longer set. Like if he had 10 minutes, I would be like, okay, you could kind of have this. But that's not how comedians kind of can have success in this kind of day and age of America's Got Talent.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so pretty surprised, but he did not make it through.
I'm not surprised, but let's move on to the next act, shall we?
To Double Dragon. They are a singing sister duo performing Bang Bang. Loved the stage and the setup for them. The Western theme, I was like, this is really epic. Like I was pretty into it. What did you think about them?
I think they have awesome voices, but I thought this was way too cheesy and overproduced. And yeah, they picked the wrong song again. And wrong song.
They picked the wrong song.
Considering their audition was also the wrong song, I'm not positive it was producer forcing. But who knows? I feel like they have so much potential and they're wasting it, and it kind of bugs me. So I'm a little bit mad that they made it over Feng Yi.
Well,
Yeah,
you
spoiler.
kind of gave it away.
I gave it away. I know, but yeah, they made it.
Wow.
And they were the judges' save.
Who was the Duncan save?
We'll get there.
Okay. Yeah. So I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with overproduced. I think that really kind of perfectly sums it up. I just think they kind of went too far. I loved the production. I felt like there's some disconnect where too much production, like the show America's Got Talent as a machine just kind of wants to go for the big spectacle, but sometimes they don't. An act doesn't need that, and it more hurts than helps. But I really enjoyed the setting.
Yeah.
All right. They made it through. I think there's just going to be a fodder act for the next round.
Yes, they're on next round. Anyway,
Brett Loudermilk, Danger Act. Ugh. I can tell Eric probably loved watching this act.
I did actually.
Oh, tell me. Tell me why.
Because he's hilarious. This was my second favorite act of the night because it's not really a danger act. I mean, it's a magic trick. The funniest line of the entire night was when he's yelling at Heidi, "I have 4 minutes. I don't have time for your questions."
4 minutes. Michael,
I knew
got
you
90 seconds.
Onto that part.
That's what I get.
You latch onto that part.
Michael Yo, like, you know what? Say what you want about his act, but he got 90 seconds, dude. Like,
yes, I know. I knew that would be the part you would comment. But the act was gross, but he was funny enough that I don't care. It's obvious how the trick is done, but I was enjoying it for comedy more than for the actual magic.
Okay. Well, I didn't love it. I felt like he was trying too hard to be funny, in my opinion. And
that's what made it work, though.
No, but that's what didn't make it work for me. I was like, I thought it was annoying.
Disagree.
Hashtag idle disagree.
Fine. So where do you think he placed?
Well, I clearly know now. Because Archie didn't get the Duncan save. Because he was just eliminated outright.
What?
I was making a joke because it was so obvious that he made it through. I said he...
Yeah, so Brett got the Duncan save.
You know what? Sure. I would have maybe... I don't even know who I would have sent through, honestly.
I voted for Fang, but...
Well, I guess we'll see one more of Brett.
Yes, we will.
All right, we move on to our final performance. Archie Williams. He is performing, I think it was Love Needs Love. What was it? Love Needs...
I don't know the song.
It was a Stevie Wonder song, I think.
Sure.
Right?
I don't know.
What'd you think?
He's all about the story. And I'm sort of fine with him being here as long as he doesn't win, because I like the exposure for the Innocence Project that he's causing. But of the 5 acts that made it through, he gave the weakest performance of the 5 by quite a lot. And he would be the one I would have swapped out for Thangy if I had a choice.
Like that was going to happen.
Oh, it was definitely not going to happen. He was selling for regardless of what he did on that stage. He could have walked on stage, pulled down his pants, taken a steaming dump.
Let's not put that visual into the world, Eric.
I'm sorry. But he could have done that and he would have made it through. And the judges were like praising him like he's the second coming. Like, thank you for being here and sharing your story with us. And yeah.
Someone actually made a comment that he should do What a Wonderful World a cappella. Very good idea.
That could work.
That's a Reddit thread.
He does have a good voice. He doesn't have a spectacular voice, but he has a good voice. And I think he has a chance of winning. You don't?
No, I'm just surprised you went there.
Oh, at this point, if you watch what the judges said about him, you would think he'd be a favorite to win, not to have a chance. I think it's gonna be an upset when he doesn't win.
I didn't even think about it, but yeah, he could win. Like he's a big name. Like he's a big figure to kind of come from the season. But yeah, I mean, good for him. I wasn't blown away personally, but he was solid.
Yeah,
he was going to go through no matter what. You were in denial if you were thinking there was a scenario where Archie Williams was not in the semifinals, and I think you're also probably a little to say the same if he doesn't make it into the live shows, the finals. I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh, he's sailing through to the finals. The question is, does he come in 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st? That's the question.
Yeah. I think he's in the upper echelon. I think he is. He has a spot reserved with his name on it.
We're just the top five. The question is, where does he land?
Yeah. But yeah, so those are kind of the acts as a whole. We kind of touched on the results a little bit. Do you have any kind of heads up for what's going on next week? Who's going to be performing?
I do actually know the acts performing next week, so let me pull that list up and we can go through it quickly.
Ooh, while you're doing that, Azad in the chat says he's last year's Cody, but way watered down. Yeah, I agree. I think Cody was... I don't think Cody was the best singer, but I think he's better than Archie.
Yes.
All right, in the chat, what else? Azad. He's going to the finals. It's just a reality at this point. Yes. I vote Brett because I thought nobody would vote for him. Well, I did vote for him. Michael Yo is the worst comedian left behind Alex and Usama. Well, Michael didn't make it through.
Alex is the best comedian this year. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go through the list of acts.
All right, tell me.
Alexis Brownlee, which is a dog act.
Okay.
No idea who she is. Bad Salsa, I remember liking them.
Bad Salsa?
Yeah, bad stands for something, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Bona Vega, glam rock guy. Yeah. Daniela Tulashova.
Oh, she was the girl with the accent, right?
I think. Jonathan Goodwin, Danger Act.
Oh, is he the arrows?
Yeah, I think so. Cameron Ross, country singer, I think.
Okay.
Kelvin Dukes, 14-year-old, reminds you of what's his name? Yes.
He's also going through.
He's going through, probably. Spyro's Brothers, the Diablo duo.
Probably going through. Although, then again, Mr. Mochi didn't make it through. Or was it just Mochi? Mr. Mochi? I don't remember. Go on.
The Shape, a dance group. I don't remember them at all. Vincent Marcus, an impressionist that I don't remember at all. And, of course, Terry's Golden Buzzer, the voices of our city choir.
They're going through.
Probably.
Is there anyone you're most excited for on that list?
Honestly, next week I have no one I'm looking forward to in this list.
Yeah, a bit of a blah, kind of lineup. But we will be here. We will be talking about it. Is there anything else you kind of want to touch on from the episode? Anything in general? Any kind of final thoughts here?
Other than the fact that I would just give the episode like a B overall, a B minus probably. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I mean, the production wasn't bad, but like the acts were average to mediocre, and there were like two that I enjoyed, and that was about it.
All right. Well, I want to say that I'm Adam Samuel. You can find me on Twitter at Adam Soapbox. I run my website, adamsoapbox.com, and my YouTube channel, Adam Samuel. It's a bit hard to find the channel, so if you need a link, it's going to be in the description. I just posted a new book review, The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell. My favorite book I've reviewed on my channel so far. Very, very powerful book. If you want to check it out, my review is down, you can find it on my channel. Where can we find you, Eric?
Eric_Ascher on Twitter, ericascher.com, bit.ly/ericlaviz. And next weekend, I have an actual 2020 in-person show. So I will have some new videos up on Eric Lovitz. Shockingly, in 2020.
Well, we can look out for that next in the coming weeks. If you've watched this episode, subscribe, give us a like. We'll be back, like I said, next week. Until then, stay awesome, stay safe, and wear your seatbelts.